from Gardening at Douentza, and this video is coming to you from Lisbon, the capital of Portugal. And I made a little stopover here on my way to the Azores and visited this super garden. It's called the Botanical Tropical Garden, and I think you can see why from some of the planting here. Now the first thing we're looking at is this one with a gorgeous leaf, and I've written the name up there on the screen so you can look it up afterwards if you want to. And there was interesting architecture too in the garden. But I do have to tell you that the lasting memory I have from this pretty garden was the wildlife that I found there. Lots and lots of ducks and chicks just gobbling away at the undergrowth. And it was full of pretty bulbs as well. You see those red ones there, some kind of Scodoxus or Hymanthus, and the pink is Amaryllis belladonna if I'm not mistaken. Gorgeous things. And here we have a grove dappled with sunlight and just full of that Amaryllis belladonna. It really was a sight to behold. Now this garden was one that kind of took me by surprise because my initial reaction was that it was all just a little bit scruffy and unkempt, but there was a lot to it and lots of different elements within it. Now this is some kind of grotto we're going through, and well, there were lots of planting that perhaps had seen better days, but certainly succulents and cacti, they're things that don't need a lot of maintenance, and even if a garden isn't very well maintained, they'll persist for the longest time. Okay, so we're just going to have a little ramble around the different paths and areas of this garden, and you can have a good look without me yapping on for a while about what I saw. I guess a real indicator that I'm not in my climate anymore is this type of ficus tree, where it has these aerial roots that reach down from the branches and re-root in the ground below and then kind of assist in supporting the tree. They really are the most exotic thing. And speaking of exotic, here's the Floss silk tree, which really is one of my favorites. It has the most gorgeous flowers. And the seeds, they produce this kind of silky flossy thing around them, which I guess is where it gets its name from. It's one I do want to try growing because I believe it's hardy to about -5 if you can get the tree mature enough to risk it outdoors. And this was a section that was closed off to the general public. But look at those trees there. Wow. I wonder how old they are. And this here, of course, is a banana flower hanging down pendulously from, yes, bananas up above. And here you get another shot of those bananas, but these were up at a higher level. Now this is a estufa, which I believe in Portuguese means a cold greenhouse. So basically a greenhouse without heat, and it was used for growing coffee. And these are coffee beans. Now we're in a part of the garden that is the one that's normally photographed to show and represent this garden. And as you can see, it's a knot garden, but it's seen better days. It really needs a good trim and a good weed and all that. But I can imagine from those windows up there, it must look very nice looking down on this fantastic knot garden from above. And over here is the most gloriously romantic sight you're ever likely to see. That overgrown bench, isn't it just fantastic? Something about it just kind of pulls on the heartstrings. All of this was backed by glorious bougainvillea, purple in colour and really gorgeous in the sunshine. So now let's take a look at some of the cacti they have in this garden. And oh my goodness, look what's been done to them. Graffiti on cactuses. I've seen this in a couple of places and it's just so awful. Who could do such a terrible thing? Now anyone who watches my channel knows that I love greenhouses, and so whenever I go to a new garden I want to find out whether they have a greenhouse. and this one had, but as you can see it was terribly dilapidated, and they'd already taken in a lot of the tender plants for the winter, but there was no going in to have a look. Such a shame. But I found this wonderful little place right beside the coffee shop, and me and my friends went in, and we didn't have coffee, we had a cold drink because it was such a hot day. But look at this, isn't it gorgeous? Now I wouldn't swim in it, but it was lovely to look at, and all the planting around it was types of Tradescantia mostly, I think, and there are those spider plants that everybody grows in their house at home. It was really quite charming. And there it is. I hope you liked this video. Check back for more and don't forget to subscribe.